5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start. Habits are consistent behaviors repeated so often they become automatic. These actions no longer require conscious effort or decision-making. They are mental shortcuts designed by the brain to conserve energy and improve efficiency. Over time, repeated behaviors form loops involving a trigger, a routine, and a reward. The trigger initiates the behavior, the routine is the behavior itself, and the reward reinforces it, making it more likely to happen again. This cycle strengthens with repetition, forming what is known as a habit loop. The brain plays a central role in this process. The area responsible for decision-making and self-control is highly active when new behaviors are being learned. However, as the behavior becomes routine, control shifts to a different region associated with automatic patterns. This transition is what allows habits to run without much thought. Once this shift occurs, behaviors become embedded and continue even when they no longer align with current goals or needs. Automatic behavior can be useful or harmful. Useful patterns, like regular movement or consistent rest, contribute positively to physical and mental health. Harmful patterns, such as delay in important tasks or frequent distractions, hinder personal development and productivity. Because habits operate beneath awareness, they often go unnoticed until their effects become significant. Recognition is the first step toward change. Common belief suggests that a new behavior becomes habitual in a few weeks. However, research indicates that the process varies based on many factors. Some behaviors may take only a few weeks, while others require many months. Consistency is more important than perfection. Missing an occasional repetition does not erase progress. What matters is returning to the routine after setbacks. When attempting to establish new routines, starting small helps. Large changes often lead to overwhelm and resistance. Smaller changes are more manageable and less likely to be avoided. Linking new routines to existing patterns increases the chance of success. When one behavior becomes part of a familiar sequence, it is easier to maintain. Rewards play a significant role in reinforcing behaviors. Immediate satisfaction makes a behavior more appealing and more likely to be repeated. The sense of completion or visible progress can serve as effective reinforcement. Tracking progress adds motivation and clarity. A visible record of consistency builds momentum and strengthens commitment. To eliminate unwanted behaviors, the first step is to identify the trigger. Without understanding what initiates the routine, lasting change is difficult. Once the trigger is known, a different action can be inserted in its place. The brain still expects a reward, so the replacement behavior must provide a similar sense of satisfaction or relief. Changing the environment can also help. Removing objects or situations associated with the old pattern reduces the likelihood of repeating it. Setbacks are part of the process. Self-judgment increases stress and often reinforces the unwanted pattern. Kindness and patience make recovery easier and more likely. Each repetition of the new behavior builds a stronger connection in the brain. Over time, the new behavior becomes more natural and eventually automatic. A powerful approach to habit change involves identity. When behavior aligns with a chosen identity, it becomes part of who one is rather than something one does. Instead of focusing on the goal, attention shifts to becoming the kind of individual who naturally behaves in desired ways. Habits are not formed in isolation. Social surroundings influence what behaviors seem acceptable or desirable. Observing others perform certain actions increases the likelihood of adopting those behaviors. Surrounding oneself with individuals who model desired actions supports habit formation. Positive peer influence can accelerate the process and provide encouragement during difficult periods. Awareness is key. Recognizing patterns, understanding triggers, and observing internal responses creates the foundation for change. Without awareness, the same cycles repeat. With awareness, choice becomes possible. Each small decision shapes the pattern of future actions. In the long term, habits shape outcomes. What may begin as a minor routine gradually influences broader areas of life. Repeated behaviors compound. Small, consistent actions can lead to significant transformation. The difference between stagnation and progress often lies in daily patterns that seem insignificant in the moment. No behavior is fixed forever. The brain remains adaptable throughout life. Old patterns can be replaced. New routines can be built. Change requires effort, but the potential for growth remains always available. With the right mindset, environment, and strategy, any pattern can be reshaped. Habits may appear invisible, but their impact is profound. They influence not only how time is spent but also how energy, attention, and emotion are managed. Understanding them leads to more intentional living. By directing these patterns, the course of life shifts toward greater alignment with personal values and desired outcomes. Every small behavior matters. Each repetition builds a stronger connection. Over time, even the smallest change can lead to meaningful results. Habits, while often overlooked, serve as the foundation of our daily lives. They shape not only our productivity and health, but also our sense of identity and emotional well-being. The routines we perform each day silently guide us toward either growth or stagnation. By focusing on small, consistent actions, we can gradually build systems that support our long-term goals. The key is not to rely solely on willpower, which fluctuates, but to design environments and cues that naturally lead to the desired behavior. For instance, placing a book on your pillow can prompt nightly reading, while preparing workout clothes the night before increases the chance of exercising in the morning. These subtle adjustments reduce friction and make good habits easier to follow. Likewise, to break bad habits, increasing friction, like deleting a distracting app or storing junk food out of sight, can reduce the likelihood of indulging in them. Ultimately, mastering habits is less about radical transformation and more about quiet, consistent improvements. Each action reinforces a belief about who we are becoming. By choosing our habits deliberately, we take control of our trajectory. With time and patience, these choices add up, leading us closer to the life we envision for ourselves. Stop.